In this video, I'm going to take you through the 3.3a lesson on creating and analyzing scatterplots. Univariate data is data that represents collections or measurements of one variable. And bivariate data is data that has two variables. Determine if the following scenarios represent univariate or bivariate data. Lucas conducts an experiment where he records the number of speeding tickets issued in Iron County in a given year, along with the average price of gasoline for that same given year. He collects this data from the year 1990 through 2015. So he's looking at speeding tickets and gasoline, which is two things. So this is bivariate data. Number two, Leah conducts an experiment where she records the heights of all the NBA basketball players on the LA Lakers roster for the 2014 season. So this sounds like there's only one set of data regarding the heights of players. So this would be univariate data. This is a good time to pause the video. Make sure you understood 1 and 2, and also try 3 and 4. I'm also going to leave number 5 for you to read through in attempt. And then when you've completed that, you can resume the video. And I'm going to pick up with some definitions on number 6. Number 6, define the following terms. Experiment. This would be any process or study that results in the collection of data. Any process or study that results in the collection of data. Sample space. Think back to 7th grade, you started actually Mod 1 doing probability and performing experiments, and sample space was the set of all possible outcomes of a particular experiment. So for example, that would be if you were flipping a coin, heads or tails would be your sample space of possible outcomes. If you remember when you did sample space, you also used braces, not parentheses or brackets. And the last term that we're going to define is a random variable. These are variables that take on different values as a result of the outcomes of an experiment, which sounds sort of like the term states, but also does not clearly sort of define or clarify what it is. So using the coin example, let's say we had X be the outcome of flipping a coin, and the two possible things we could get is heads or tails, but we want to maybe represent this as a scatter plot and be able to plot these points. And so maybe we would say heads is 0 and tails is 1. And as we flip a coin, X is either going to be a 0 or 1 based on that outcome. Next, bivariate data can show different types of associations between two variables. There are many ways that we can describe the association if there is one between two variables. Label the scatter plots below with the linear association it represents. Label each axis with an independent and dependent variable that could represent the association. So we're going to describe these by picking something that it could represent, as well as describing it using some descriptors. We're going to describe these by choosing either to describe it as positive or negative. We're going to describe this by choosing the words either linear or nonlinear. And then we're going to choose to describe this by talking about whether it is or appears to be a weak, moderate, strong, or maybe a perfect association. So, number 7, we would say that this one is positive, and it looks like it is, for the most part, linear. It looks moderate or sort of in the middle. Number 8 is negative. It goes down. Think of it as slope. I'm going to also say that this one appears linear. You could agree to disagree. And I also think that this one sort of is moderate. And on the next page, we'll see some examples of maybe strong. And this last one is no association or no apparent association. And then we also were asked to put some labels here. For example, we could say that this is time in years, and maybe this is money saved. That if you're saving money, hopefully over time it increases. This could be time in years and the value of a car, which goes down over time in most cases. And this could be two things that have no connection, like your height and your shirt color. If you could attach a number to that, sort of like we did with the coins.